Ladies and gentlemen, Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his final and last campaign rally in Delhi roared that Delhi is set to witness a Vikas ka Naya Basant after the upcoming assembly elections. He compared the political climate in Delhi to the seasonal change brought by Basant Panchami. As Delhi gears for polling, which is just 2 days away now, the Prime Minister led BJP's campaign to highlight the Janta Ka budget and what it means for the growth of the nation, while also reiterating some big promises to the people of the national capital. But in taking on the Aam Aadmi Party, the Prime Minister hurled the Abda barb once again and said its mask is off now. He said this is the reason why some of the AAP leaders are parting ways from the party this close to the polls. Further, the Prime Minister launched the Sheesh Mahal attack and held Arvind Kejriwal responsible for what he called looting and lying to the people of the national capital. Another issue raised by the Prime Minister was that of AAP allegedly forcing Purvanchalis to leave Delhi. Viewers, the fight for Purvanchali vote has been heating up the last few days, and the importance of this voter base is very evident from each of the party's election strategies that has not only seen more and more Purvanchali leaders being fielded in elections, but also dedicated teams working round the clock to woo Purvanchalis in the national capital. But that's not it, viewers. Equally intense was the charge leveled by the AAP convener Arvind Kejriwal, who earlier today accused BJP of indulging in Gundaism out of fear of losing polls, and has also written to the Election Commission demanding appointment of independent observers in New Delhi constituency, citing some of these instances. Not just this, Arvind Kejriwal also accused opposition parties of orchestrating a big conspiracy to disenfranchise slum dwellers ahead of polls by allegedly bribing them. Remember, viewers, we've already heard the AAP allege that the BJP will bulldoze slums in the national capital if voted to power. But the Prime Minister not only reaffirmed earlier today that no welfare schemes will be halted if BJP comes to power, also said that not a single slum in Delhi will be razed. Today, viewers, was the best of the last we saw on part of not just the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP, also the Congress. Here's how it's playing out before we take this up with our experts this evening.
दिल्ली की आपदा पार्टी ने यहां के 11 साल बर्बाद कर दिए हैं। मैं गारंटी देता हूं, आपकी हर मुसीबत, हर परेशानी को दूर करने के लिए खप जाऊंगा। आपके अस्पताल, आपकी दवाओं में भी घोटाला करते हैं, लूट चलाते हैं। और मैं आज दिल्ली वासियों को वादा करता हूं, जिन्होंने दिल्ली को लूटा है उनको लौटाना ही पड़ेगा।
मैं दिल्ली के लोगों से अपील करना चाहता हूं कि हम लोगों को इस गुंडागर्दी के खिलाफ एकजुट होना होगा। दिल्ली इस किस्म की गुंडागर्दी बर्दाश्त नहीं कर सकती।
Let's quickly open this up with our experts joining us this evening. Rohan Gupta, spokesperson of the BJP, along with Darshpreet Karyal, spokesperson of the Congress. Also with us this evening is spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, Abhinandita Mathur, and Sanjay Rana, political analyst, completes the panel. A very good evening to you, gentlemen, along with Ms. Mathur. Thank you for taking out your time. It indeed is a very interesting time right before elections, last day of intense campaigning on part of all political parties in fray. Abhinandita, my first question is to you. Before we get to the non-stop back and forth between the BJP, the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress over the several election muddas. First things first, the Prime Minister spoke about the Janta Ka budget, and while the anatomy of, what really constitutes a middle class population or a middle class income population in the national capital, because since it's very subjective, it indeed is one of the cities with the largest middle class, or so to speak, this bracket of population. Do you think the announcement that came in Union Budget 2025, the big tax relief, is going to override the several other factors that worked for the Aam Aadmi Party in previous elections?
Well, I totally don't think so, because when it comes to anything economics, I don't think that the people of the country, or especially Delhi, will trust Mr. Modi. They have not fulfilled even a single promise that they have done, from demonetization to, digital India. There have just been one fraud after another, and this is a new gimmick of actually looting the people. Let's wait for them to walk the talk and then we decide. Look, the problem is that as normal middle class, service class people, we have little left, to have some, to give us hope now. I mean, you look at the taxes that we are paying, whether it is on doodh, dahi, or whether it is on just, buying a car, selling a car, the fuel prices increasing every month. All this and more is, putting a huge impact on the pockets of the middle class. What happens when you live in Delhi is that because of the schemes of the Aam Aadmi Party and the, so to speak, raveries, whether it is the poor or the middle class, everybody gets some amount of relief, which otherwise is impossible. If the amount of electricity, for example, that I consume in Delhi, if I were consuming the same in another state, especially a BJP ruled state, I would be paying 3 times, 4 times, 5 times more. The fact that a lower middle class woman or a poor woman can actually go to work without having to pay a bus ticket simply means that she's able to save about 1,000 rupees at home. And this way, thanks to the different schemes of Arvind Kejriwal's government, we are actually able to save about a person in Delhi is actually spending 25,000 less than people in other states. So whether it is, narrowing down on the priorities that the citizens need, whether it is Bijli, Pani, health, education, or whether it is about, understanding how economics work, given that Delhi has surplus budget. All this and more only proves that the Aam Aadmi Party, on one hand, has the caliber, the intent, and the track record to actually deliver on deliver what they promise. On the other hand, we have another model, which is a bit of an irony, because Modi ji will come and give big jumlas, and after the elections are done, Amit Shah will say, "Arey, wo to sirf jumla tha, election ke liye tha." So time and again, the BJP has actually failed the people of Delhi, enabling us to let the city function, to let the city improve. I don't see any merit in what the Prime Minister said today, just like their own budget, where, the middle class, upper middle class, actually everybody is really suffering in the current regime. We hope that, Modi consults people like Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, who have a solution. And if we could do it in Delhi, that can very well be implemented in other parts of the country.
I'm sure Rohan can't wait to respond to everything that you've just said. But interesting how you began by making your argument, Abhinandita, because the fact is that there is a fine print now. If we go by Union Budget 2025, that tax relief to those earning up to 12 lakh rupees per annum is indeed going to happen. It's turned into a reality already, and it can have consequences not just pertaining to the national picture, but specific to, let's say, a state like the national capital as well. But let me go across to Rohan Gupta. She says too little, too late. Rohan.
I think Aam Aadmi Party is still in opposition mode even after 10 years. People of Delhi gave them chance twice. They made huge promises, cleaning of Yamuna, pollution, other things, many other things they promised. And what they delivered, sheesh man. What they delivered, Sharab Ghotala, scandal, 2,000 crore. What they deliver, model, jo unke clinic hai, usme bhrashtachar. So I think people of Delhi's confidence have been betrayed by Aam Aadmi Party. And every day they are changing the goalpost. They know they are going to be defeated. With clear majority, they will be out of power. And BJP is going to come back to power. So every day Mr. Kejriwal is changing the goalpost. He's making emotional upward. But till what time the minister, this emotional appeal will work. You have to deliver on ground. People of Delhi, they have given 10 years to one person just on his face, and what they have received, nothing. Pollution. Even today, the water is delivered through tanker. They have promised delivery of sharab at home, but the water is delivered through tanker. This is the reality of our model today. So people are totally, their trust have been betrayed, and this time they will take revenge, whether it is Aam Aadmi Party or Congress, because both of them, they asked for vote 6 months back to people of Delhi. If they are giving galis to each other today, people won't trust them. So I think mandate is clear, BJP is coming back.
Okay, well, we just have to wait for another 6 days to find out whether or not we will see a change of regime. But Arshpreet, you know, what do you make of the two political parties and the confidence that is seemingly at its peak, both on part of the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party, and they've almost reduced the Congress to calling it a third player?
Well, they also had this kind of confidence in Himachal and Karnataka. But when the results came, their confidence was also shattered. Their arrogance was also shattered by the people of Himachal and Karnataka. And the same thing is going to happen in Delhi as well. As far as the budget is concerned, the people of Delhi are saying that the budget sounded like a budget of Bihar and less of a budget for India. And there's a lot of similarities in the budget and the Bharatiya Janata Party. It was hollow like the Bharatiya Janata Party's tenure of the last 10 years. It was big on words and very low on action like the Bharatiya Janata Party has been. And the Bharatiya Janata Party has basically ensured a final nail in the coffin for their future by bringing on such a hollow budget, and the people of Delhi are disappointed. And the Bharatiya Janata Party will have to wait for 27 years. They've already waited 27 years, another 27 years.
No, as if the government had to comply with the EC directives of avoiding any state-specific, Delhi-specific announcements. So, as is, the Narendra Modi government could not have done that.
No, it's not about that. It's that Bharatiya Janata Party has had 10 years now. The budget's not coming for the first time in the Bharatiya Janata Party's regime. There have been 10 budgets before this, but nothing came for Delhi. No incentives, no packages, because they did not have an alliance with the party ruling in Delhi. They have an alliance with the party
But
that's
I
ruling in
think,
Bihar.
correct me if I'm wrong, and Rohan can come in on this. The allocation to Delhi, I think, is 100 odd crores more than the previous year, Rohan?
It's nothing at all.
See,
peanuts.
the actual numbers.
Okay, Arshpreet, then
Obviously, it is
Arshpreet,
more.
yes. No, let him complete.
So number one, it's peanuts as compared to what the requirements of Delhi are. And number two, the Bharatiya Janata Party cannot get away from the simple fact that they have promised doubling of farmers' income by 2022. It's 2025. No word on MSP, no word on loan waiver. They can waive off 16 lakh crores of the corporate houses of the private players, but not of the farmers. Number two, the Aam Aadmi Party, just one thing for them. Punjab government sticker was there on the car that was seized, which had liquor, which had cash, which had Aam Aadmi Party's pamphlets. Then a raid was conducted at the CM residence, and then a liquor scam, and then the CM going behind bars, the deputy CM going behind bars, minister going behind bars, MP going behind bars. What's the credibility of the Aam Aadmi Party? And one more thing, the Aam Aadmi Party knows it's a lost cause for them, given the sheesh mahals that they have made, given the vigilance reports that have come, and the Supreme Court in Mr. Sisodia's bail order. Let's remember what the Supreme Court said, that there's a money trail of 338 crores. And number two, the Yamuna thing. Mr. Kejriwal has been there in power for the last so many years by saying that Yamuna has been poisoned and whatnot. He has exposed himself. Despite being in power, he did not do anything in the last so many years. He did not bring it up. He did not launch any investigation, did not try to resolve the issue. He has given a certificate of failure to himself and to his own party by saying that. And number two, Mr. Kejriwal's credibility is zero. He's someone who has gone behind bars to spend 5 to 6 months in jail. He's somebody who had said, if you make us win, that means I'm innocent. And he lost that election. And number three, Mr. Bhagwant Mann. Where Mr. Mann has gone to campaign for the Aam Aadmi Party has won 0 seats. For example, Rajasthan, for example, Chhattisgarh, for example, Madhya Pradesh.
But that analysis should have been done sooner, no, Arshpreet. Why was this analysis not done when you tied up with the Aam Aadmi Party and you were walking hand in hand with the Aam Aadmi Party? Why wait for so long before making that scathing analogy of how, this is...
One. See, number one, your voice was breaking. I could not understand your question completely.
No, I'm saying why wait for so long before you decide whether or not the Aam Aadmi Party is good or bad for the national capital, or as an ally to your party? Why wait for so long? That's one question that's going to be asked to the Congress, till the end of this political game.
See, number one, I'll answer your question. What comes first and the most important is saving democracy, saving India, and saving a constitution from the Bharatiya Janata Party. That was number one. And that's what we were able to achieve by not allowing the Bharatiya Janata Party to get 400 plus seats. Otherwise, they would have done away with the constitution. They would have done away with the democracy. And that was the purpose of India Alliance in order to save India. That alliance was formed, which was not of 2 parties. It was of 28 plus parties and in so many states. And last but not the least, Mr. Modi just ought to tell us one thing. How do we believe what the Bharatiya Janata Party is saying in Delhi? Because Mr. Modi has not done a single press conference in the last 10 years. Mr. Modi has zero accountability. He has zero answerability. The people of Delhi would be disappointed. And when they ask questions, how will Mr. Modi or the Bharatiya Janata Party's government answer? Because they never do press conferences. They never think that they are accountable to the people. Therefore, the people of Delhi have decided to vote against the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Okay, no, I'll let Rohan respond. But before that, I need to quickly go across to Mr. Rana as well. He's been waiting patiently too. Ashpreet, I'll come back to you in just a bit. Mr. Sanjay Rana, the bigger picture, which is also being pre-concluded, now we're in the final stage of the campaigning, right? So this is the deciding moment on how much justice have the parties really done to the kind of build-up that we'd seen, let's say, a month or 2 months ago, or for that matter, 5 months, because we're talking about a crucial election like the national capital. So what's your analysis and how do you respond to the 3 comments that have come in so far?
Good evening, Ms. Walia. Good evening to my fellow panelists. First of all, we look at the budget and the Delhi election. Obviously, it was a triangular contest, but at this point of time, I don't see this as a triangular contest. Congress is not at all there. Obviously, they are fighting in a couple of places, but not at 70 odd seats. When we talk about the statement made by Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson, she was talking about the petrol, she was talking about GST, she was talking about the Kisan and the buses. When we talk about the petrol prices, obviously, petrol comes, why not raising this question in the GST Council? You have to raise the question if you want to reduce the price. When you're talking about the price, in 2014, the petrol price was 72, and when Congress has taken that, was in the power in 2004, the price was 35 rupees. If you look at the increase in price, almost 115%. And when we're comparing with today's scenario, it's a fact, it's almost 35% increase in price. When I was listening very carefully to Mr. Ashpreet, he was talking about the constitution. Who's talking about the constitution? You have changed the constitution almost 84 times and you're talking about saving the constitution. Where you were when people were asking for the Mandal Commission report in 1980 and 1955, you were sleeping at that point of time. We are talking about the constitution. When she was talking about the buses, there is no procurement happens after 2010. Whatever the development happened, Ms. Walia, it's happened only in Sheila Dikshit tenure, and all the infrastructure is developed during that tenure. She was talking about the education model. I failed to understand the education model. The classroom were approximately 1,140. It's gone down to 4,000 classrooms. She was talking about the school model. Which is school model? There's no education institution open in last 10 years. She cannot name any institution, any university, or any hospital as so far as concerned in Delhi. People are really fed up about the promises made by Aam Aadmi Party. They want a real result. Obviously, Sheila Dikshit was the chief minister, and she has delivered the result in spite of Congress government in center and the BJP government was in center. But you need to have a coordination between the central government and the state government and deliver the result. What were promises made by you? None of the promise. Aam Aadmi Party made the promise of 15 lakhs CCTV camera, and as per the statement of Mr. Kejriwal, has only deployed 2 lakhs cameras. Where all the cameras is gone? Yamuna, I'm not talking about Yamuna because everyone is talking about Yamuna. I'm talking about the basic infrastructure which people of Delhi are looking for, water, clean water. They could not able to deliver the 100% clean water to each and every houses. Upload 70% deliver and 30% still remaining, and you're talking about commitment. You're talking about you need to learn a lesson from Mr. Kejriwal. all, none of the political party has gone down to the scale which Aam Aadmi Party has done it in last 10 years. You look at the statement he made few days back. Yamuna mein ammonia ka percentage zyada ho gaya. It's had been there for last 20 years. Percentage has been going down and going up and going down. You need to have statistics. But making allegation on any political party is not looks good. You need to deliver the promises which you made it. And at least on the basis of that, you can go and ask for the voters. Look at the statistics which is coming. They got 53% vote percentage in 2020. Look at the expected survey which is coming up. It's going down almost 10%.
You know, the key question, Mr. Rana, here is whether or not the sentiment that you're trying to highlight is actually trickling down the masses and they're being able to sense this. They're being able to believe what the opposition in the national capital is trying to feed them or not. Or has everything that has been done by Arvind Kejriwal and his colleagues paid off and is working for the people of the national capital? So that's a trick question there. But Abhinandita, what's also interesting is that is there a fear, and many sense this. Rohan, I'm coming to you, but since Sanjay Rana ji had pointed a few questions to the app, let me quickly go across to Ms. Mathur. Is there a sense that given that much of Arvind Kejriwal's campaign, the last 10 years has relied heavily on welfare schemes, on freebies, so on and so forth, where is the exclusivity with the BJP and the Congress also making as many promises on similar lines now? What's the X factor in your campaign?
Yeah, it's a great question because obviously there are many copies of the Kejriwal manifesto, Kejriwal ki guarantees now that we see other parties do. I think it's a very good question because unlike the other jumlas and promises, here is one government that actually delivered on what they promised in elections. As soon as we were voted into power in 2015, the electricity prices were reduced and 200 units ka bijli maaf had happened. Schools started improving. Mohalla clinics happened. All this is for people to see. Look, when you are in your 11th year, we are the incumbent. So at this point, it should not have actually been this easy for us to win this election. But because we have worked and despite all the problems that...
But you're also facing 10 plus years of anti-incumbency, Abhinandita. Plus aggressive promises by the opposition, both by the BJP and the Congress.
But exactly what I'm saying, that here we actually have an advantage because we are incumbent. We actually have a track record to show. No other state had thought of making buses free for women. We are an intelligent, informed, educated government. We know what it means for a woman to get out of the house and, manage something for her family. This will not only help, the household, it helps women's mobility, it helps women empowerment in the long run. You go and talk to the people of Sangam Vihar who could not have imagined that there'll ever be a sewer pipe in their bastis, and now they have piped water. These are things that we take for granted. Of course, there are things that are yet to be done. There is no question about it, and our leader gracefully admits it. But the fact is that the impact that we have made in the last 10 years, none of these governments or political parties ever imagined. We have compelled them to talk about the issues that matter to the people. We have compelled them to talk about Bijli Pani. We have compelled them to talk about education. Had you heard these as main issues for a state election like Delhi before? No, but now it is. Development is the issue. आम आदमी की मुसीबतें और आम आदमी का मरहम उस पे कौन लगाएगा?
But it has to be an overall development, Abhinandita. It can't be bijli. It just can't be free bijli. Free bus ride for women, but bad roads. For those buses.
Right.
It can't be polluted water, polluted air. But you're saying that we want to work towards education and healthcare. It has to be an overall development, and you've had your chance. You've had enough time in the national capital to prove your mettle.
And we have built many flyovers. There's also a lot of tangible difference that you can see in Delhi, or just keeping things afloat. It has not
when
been
it comes to development and infrastructure, I'm afraid, and this is as a neutral observer, that suddenly after 2013, we're all, remembering Sheila Dikshit ji and her contribution. So that's the sentiment as far as an overall analysis is concerned. Before going to Ashpreet, Rohan needs to come in as well.
There are two important points I want to make. I think both the panelists, Congress or Aam Aadmi, they were talking
Ashpreet, I'm
about
coming to you
delivering
next.
promises and all. Can you hear me?
Yes, Rohan, go
So
ahead.
both the parties, they were talking about delivering promises and all. See, what is the difference between BJP promises and Aam Aadmi and Congress promises. When it comes to fiscal discipline, Delhi was a state which was always in fiscal surplus. It was always a surplus budget state. This is the first time last year Aam Aadmi converted that into fiscal deficit. The first time in the history of Delhi, that is what has happened. What they are doing, the money which was collected by earlier government, they are just spending. And that also going to their sheesh man, to the corruption it is going. It's not going to the common man. Apart from that, Congress party.
But how is the fiscal position going to be any healthier, Rohan, if you also start, walking the same road? If you're also going to be ensuring as many welfare schemes or freebies?
I am answering the question. I'm answering. Just let me allow. You'll get my answer. See the Congress party. Himachal, what they have seen, they don't have money to pay to even salary. Right now, when we are in debate, the advisor to Siddaramaiah, he resigned. Mr. Patil, the MLA, he resigned, citing the reason that as a MLA, he is not getting money because the money is exhausted in the guarantees. So this is the situation. They are not able to walk the talk. They are promising, but they are not able to deliver. See BJP, when you are giving the budget, they have given 12 lakh rebate the salary of two people. They have given top 1 lakh.
Okay, understood.
And even after that, the fiscal deficit is 4.4%. Let me complete. Only 4.4%.
Rohan, I just have a couple of minutes and I need to go across to both the gentlemen for one last word. We've heard you. Ashpreet, quickly come in 30 seconds to you and then I need to wrap up with Mr. Rana.
Thank you. I am on the roads of Delhi right now, campaigning, going from one place to another. And the roads are in a very obnoxious condition, very, very bad shape. It's like a road mein pothole mein road hai. That's the number one issue for the people of Delhi. Then there is major traffic congestions, there is major pollution, there is major garbage issues, no garbage disposal happening.
But how is the Congress proving it's a viable alternative to the BJP or the Aam Aadmi party?
If I may, so people, what the people of Delhi say? They say after Sheila Ji, no roads have been renovated, no new flyovers have been brought about, no new stadiums, no new parks, nothing has been done in Delhi, and that's why the people will be rejecting both the Aam Aadmi party and the Bharatiya Janata party, because they know the only option that is there, which is good for them, for their future, for their kids, for the coming generations, is the Progress party.
Okay, Sheila Dikshit over Arvind Kejriwal. Mr. Rana, I don't have too much time, but I need to come to you and I want you to respond on the Purvanchali issue. A lot of importance being given, 40% electorate, and never before we've seen the BJP and the Congress field as many as 8 or 10 Purvanchali candidates in the election. So quickly, 15 seconds.
Ms. Wali, the Purvanchal voters, they are, they can swing the election in 29 seats out of 70. So obviously they're contributing a major share, and that's why everyone trying to target these folks. But most important thing, when we faced Corona Kal, how Kejriwal, look after the Purvanchali and what he did, everyone knows. Because whether it's a Purvanchali, whether it's Haryana, whether it's Uttar Pradesh, everyone is coming and staying in Delhi. And is a Delhi government.
That most certainly has been a heated topic between the Aam Aadmi party and the Bharatiya Janata party, and we're only going to see an end to that perhaps post the. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. Thanking Abhinanda Mathur as well. That's all we could pack for you in this edition of news. Thanks for watching. Good night.